And hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of Oodvin. As always, I am your host, your DM, your GM, Maxwell Williams, and I play a whole bunch of cool, interesting, quirky characters, including the ever talented, the ever learning, the magical wonder that is Amphira Cask.
I'm gonna put it really close to the mic here because I can't talk that loud right now. Hello, everybody. My name is Sam Rinaldi, and I play Winnie Winslow, the Twilight Cleric, who, unlike me, has not gotten her tonsils taken out in the last 2 weeks.
Hello, my name is Connor McGinley, and I play Lilibet Pembroke, the Lunar Sorcerer. And let's see, she just taught a unit of troops to cast one spell, Silvery Barbs, and she's very proud of that. And she's ready to go all out, use all the magic at her disposal to end this thing finally.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dane Brancato, and I play Zephyr Windstrider, the Air Genasi College of Swords bard of the group. A little medical fact about Zephyr this week is he actually was born without wisdom teeth. Figures.
Makes sense.
Tracks. Hi. My name is Julia Risto, and I play Octavia La Gezur. She is our half-orc swashbuckling warlock. And Octavia has just made an official alliance between the Lake Folk and the Thieves Guild, which is both dangerous and immensely fun.
Hello, my name is Aaron Borden. I play the character Februm Cask, the Simic hybrid blood fighter. And we're still reading. Hopefully, we can get this book done by the time we fight a war.
Everyone's
Eh.
talking war plans. He's sitting there just like,
He's like,
One second. One second.
I really gotta finish this. I'm so sorry.
One more chapter.
One more chapter. You really can't put it down.
It's a real page turner.
And my name's Drew Borden. I play Aldrich Bernask, the armorer, human, resident old man. He might have created a cult, or at least restarted an ancient cult.
Happens to the best of us.
I don't know.
As you
Did I
do.
miss something?
Oh, I
What?
forgot about that.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that too.
All the mini Neds.
All the net.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot about the Neds.
That's everyone. So before we get into tonight's episode, let's do a quick little recap. So our party is quickly reaching the pinnacle of their adventure after studying in Aophic, traveling through the waste, collecting the shards of different planar domains, battling gods and potential gods, defeating their enemies left and right, and conquering challenges that come their way. They have found themselves in the crater around Ember's Blaze, the point at which the devouring all began. They are currently talking to troops, boosting morale, and training some special units as Erdusk is off surveying the enemy troops. They're still waiting for a few troops to arrive here and there, as troops have been arriving via the gate spell for a couple days now. Yeah. Kind of ended that abruptly, but that's most of it. We've got a unit of not undead, but kinda Ned puppets. And a whole bunch of our compatriots from the entire campaign have shown up to show the party their support. Also, there's a unicorn that is protecting those that did not have access to the shards from the greater effects of the devouring, as it has established a small legendary lair to help stave off the devouring, while the units prepared for battle. But yeah, I don't think did I miss anything? We did have Octavia and Alexander had a lovely evening in the newly established Thieves Guild outpost here in the Waste, in a secret little chest that much bigger on the inside than the outside.
Was thankfully not a mimic, because that would have
Not
been
a
really
mimic.
funny.
Not a
But
mimic. But yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Um. I think that's most of it. So you all are at the outpost, the last stronghold of goodness on the material plane. With people from Aofic, you've got lake folk, you've got night eyes and students, and people from the Thieves Guild, and yeah, that's all for now. So while we wait a bit, is there anything anyone is doing in specific that they weren't already doing? So I know most people are training. Februm is reading himself. If no one has anything in specific, we can.
I did think of one thing.
Okay.
Octavia's gonna go over to Winnie, actually, and this is 100%. I just thought of this last second. I don't know how this is gonna work. Octavia's like, so Winnie, do you remember? Oh, I don't remember his name. The guy who stole the car.
Oh, the bone guy?
Yeah, was it
Faulkner?
Faulkner? Yes. I was wondering, could we maybe send him a tell or something?
I can try
Just saying, that
for fun.
if he would point his bone armies at our enemies, they would then produce more bones.
Question. Did we take a rest at any point? Because if not, I can't send anything right now. Oh, I can upcast it though, can't I?
Yeah. For no additional benefit.
That's right.
I know
Dick
Februm's
Foggers.
not there. I know
I'm gonna
Februm's
use-
not there, but I would love to posit dragon bones.
Oh, and
Yeah.
dragon bones. If he can have some dragon, not my dragon bones. But
Well,
the-
you
the
kind of
other-
already promised him that.
Well, I'm hoping that maybe we can. I'll maybe talk to
You can
him
talk-
about that later.
I'll let him know to talk to. Okay, I'll try it. As long as he's on the same. I think is it as long as he's on the same plane that I can probably reach him, or is that like a different thing that I'm thinking of?
Traditionally.
Traditionally,
I'll
yeah,
try
that
sending him a
works.
message. Okay, here we go. Hello, Faulkner. It's Winnie. Don't freak out. I don't know who's ever experienced sending before. How about, is there like a name of this outpost that we're at?
Well, Ember's Blaze is where we're
Ember's
fighting.
Blaze,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. We're at Ember's Blaze. Please come and bring an army. If you do, I can promise dragon bones.
I don't know why the sending spell is so funny to me.
It is. It's so silly. I love
you, bye.
sending.
Okay, bye.
I didn't even have room for okay bye.
Not
But
enough.
it literally ended with I can promise dragon bones.
I feel like we should be allowed to add K-Bye for free.
Okay, bye.
That's the upcast.
That's like the ending of the
Yeah,
spell.
That's the benefit for upcasting.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna have no spell slots.
You get a signature like in an email.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say it's just 5 extra words, but it's really just a nicer message. There are more. You get like a
You get
you
like
get
an
like
E
a
sign
ring,
at the end.
It
you
like
get a ring back
Grammarly's
tone if
you.
you upcast it to 5th level.
6th level is Grammarly edits it for you.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, it words like these are the words you should have used.
Yeah, and then it just posthumously.
This is
This
how
is how
your
you can
sending spell
streamline this.
can. This is how your sending spell can not have any plagiarism in it.
Winnie, go ahead and roll me a D100 if you would.
D100. I've rolled
Mhm.
so many of those today. Alright, let me pull her up. Should I use the red dice or the crystally clear dice today?
Crystal clear because they look like bones.
Mm.
Well, oh, dice. That's a part of this game. I should probably grab this.
I can read these one. 86.
Okay. What would he say in response is the good question.
These are the dice, by the way. Though.
Okay.
Pretty
You. Ooh, those are so pretty.
Right? I love these.
You wait a second, and then you eventually hear, well, hello, Winnie. Dragon bones, you say?
Yep.
I consider.
I go.
Maybe.
I've considered. I'm coming.
I thought
You still with Octavia, who promised bones to me?
Javi, good news and bad news. Do you
Yes.
want to hear the good news first or the bad news first?
Oh, just say whatever.
Okay, good news is it sounds like he's going to consider and leaning towards yes. Bad news is he just asked me if you're still with us and included the fact that you still owe him bones.
Oh, Joy. I wonder if I give him a full skeleton, he'll consider that paid.
I think he just expects your bones whenever you die, hopefully of old age, and in your sleep. And not on the battlefield.
Yes, preferably not here.
Yeah, yeah. Do you
Well-
want me to... I can send him something again. I got spells out to wazoo right now. If you just want me to reply to that.
I suppose if you really want to, just say, Octavia offers the bones of a goddess in exchange for breaking
Wait,
bone contract. I don't
Bone
know. I
law?
didn't sign anything. Bone law?
law.
we
Contract.
hit goddess bones?
Well, I don't know. What will happen once we kill the goddesses?
I don't know. I've never killed a goddess before. I don't know. Maybe he'll say yes. All right, I reply. Okay, I'm gonna mark off another 4th level spell slot.
If Octavia dies again, will she lose all of her bones or only the other half?
Well, I'll
She didn't
have
lose
to
half her
roll.
bones, right?
I lost 3
Right.
out of 4 limbs.
Oh right.
Yeah, so you got one more to lose.
Oh my gosh.
And like the middle parts.
and yeah.
In the middle parts.
Yeah, I don't want to lose my
Softener.
skull.
Yes, Javi is still with us. She wants to discuss breaking the contract in exchange for goddess bones. Please consider helping us. Okay, thanks, bye.
A little faster this time. Goddess bones, I consider. I still want Octavia bone, but okay being disappointed.
Okay.
I love him so much. I'm
Well,
like,
not
I
the
made
first
this
time.
character. And I love him.
Javi, he said he's okay with being disappointed.
Wait, a little more. He said he's disappointed. We're like, have to do with partial skeleton.
Hmm.
Okay.
The other
Crying.
half.
Octavia's
Must
like,
finish collection.
she's like waiting anxiously. She's like,
Javi,
yes.
you want the good news or the bad news?
Bad news?
Okay, bad news, he still wants half your skeleton. But he said he's okay with being disappointed and not getting your whole skeleton. Yay! So
Maybe
it's a
that I
win.
can
That
work
could be
with?
what that meant.
That could be what that meant.
I don't know. I don't know.
You know what? I will take that interpretation in the hopes that I won't lose my brain out of my skull.
He said, and I quote, he's going to consider about the goddess thing, but verbatim, still want Octavia's bones, but I am okay with being disappointed. So take that as you will.
Not bad. All right. I think I can live with that.
I think we got a bone ally. Let's go.
Okay.
A bone
Perhaps.
brother.
Thank you, Winnie. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. That was the
What's
one thing I
going on?
remembered that I was like, oh shit, I wanted to do that.
Anything from anyone else?
So what point are we going to?
So this is just like kind of like the rest of the day, before you fall asleep.
Okay. Nothing before I fall asleep.
February, you keep reading, I believe. What does that put us at? I'm trying to remember if I've written. I swear I've written this down like 12 different times, and I can't find any of the notes on it.
Did I put that down anywhere?
I feel like we sat here and calculated it last time, and then I didn't write it down. I think you've got one. I think if you read for the rest of today and through the night, you would have like another like half day of reading. Because it's what you have to read for 48 hours.
48 hours, yeah.
Yeah, because you were at like 20, and then reading for today would be like 12, 32, and then reading through the night technically gives you like a whole another 12 there. So yeah, you would have like 4 hours left if you don't sleep at all.
Got it. Easy.
Cool. I guess that's what we're going with.
If you want to take short rest at some point, I'm sure we can squeeze an hour out of reading in there.
I will probably. Well, yes.
Everyone adopts Faulkner accent. We all become Faulkner.
I will probably need that.
All right. Unless anyone else has anything else, the rest of the day goes by pretty swiftly, faster than you were imagining. As soon as you start getting into training, the full moon has an orange hue as it travels through the sky today.
I flip off the moon.
A bolt of light just flies out of the air.
Crashes into the planet and you all
Another
die.
arrow through your chest.
You look up and you're like, is it getting bigger? As just
Majora's mask falls on the party.
Yeah.
But yeah. Eventually evening does come. Urdesk does not come back quite yet. But as you get towards the end of the evening, there are a handful of guests that start arriving. First, we have a gate open up inside of kind of the illusion barrier, and you see a collection of robotic individuals and highly intelligent animals all start wandering out. Oh yeah, and I mean, not highly intelligent, but animal.
They're all right.
Ouch. Actually, what you notice is as you see Feloy and a collection of repaired Modrons that you remember helping Feloy collect from, was it Beta Prime? Is that what we call the city? Yeah. You see Brad coming in on, it's got to be Donkey. He is like riding in on a donkey, and you see like birds perched on his shoulders.
Jesus?
You see a squirrel on top of his head with like a little sword in hand.
My man.
He did rise from the stone.
As they have entered in, granting you a handful of combat units and some support units.
Dap up, Brad.
The doctors.
The
Yes,
doctors.
the doctors. Brad was like, "Oh yeah, Zephyr! Hey!
Oh man, how you been? I mean,
I've been
animals.
I've been really, really good. Yeah, me and the animals have been getting along so well. We got Cheeks over here. Yeah, he's pretty great. And Brad looks up and starts chattering like a squirrel, and Cheeks chatters back to him.
Squeaker, squeak, squeakum, squeak,
Yeah,
squeaker,
squeak,
squeak.
squeaker,
Yeah.
squeaking, squeaks.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really cool now. We're gonna I brought the doctors with me and a lot of the other animals, and we're totally ready to help.
Okay.
Yeah, but from the back.
Yeah.
Because not a frontline unit.
Yeah, I gotta introduce you to some of the other bards that I found. You gotta meet Thatterson. He plays a mean lute.
Oh my god, that's so cool. Maybe I should
Dad
here.
and Brad.
Let's take a selfie.
Dad and Brad. Dad, get over here.
You do notice that as Brad and all of these animals and all these Modron enter camp, there is some confusion, some concern among all of the Night Eyes and people of Aophic and the Lake Folk. They're kind of what the fuck is going on?
No, they're chill. It's all good.
Feloy is well accustomed to being a liaison though.
Feloy walks in and immediately starts connecting with Amphira, going over some potential battle strategies here and there. And right as you start to go to bed, there is a alarm bell that starts going off. Just it kind of sounds like a wind chime, just ringing in everyone's ear, as people start to kind of scatter around camp, and try to figure out what is going on. You all hear it, and I will say you are all within eye shot of each other. As the kind of barrier around you emits a pulse from the location of where someone has potentially entered into this area uninvited. What are y'all doing?
Octavia's
there,
going.
yeah.
Yeah, Octavia's running.
Going.
Okay.
Max, question for you.
What's up?
I guess I should have asked this a little bit earlier. If any of our characters are having an outfit change for this final area, would yesterday have been the time to do it, or would we gear up right before?
No. We gear up right before.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
You gotta have
You gotta put on
you gotta
the
have
war
the
paint.
mirror. You gotta have that mirror moment in the tent, right
Yeah.
before you leave.
Okay.
Where someone somehow has transported a like 10-foot tall full body mirror that is like stationed in one of these tents.
Made we have to take turns. though,
Essential,
so,
yeah.
um. So yeah. Y'all just running
Yeah,
over
we
there?
go. Yep.
Yeah.
Lily's
gearing
gonna
up and
fly over
rolling out.
there.
I'm gonna fly too.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna run
five.
really fast.
Yeah, Octavia's dashing.
Yeah, you start running through, flying over. Go ahead and make a.
All of
Dirty
us are the
20.
flyers.
Wow. Remarkably
Not the best start.
23.
21.
23, 21.
That's
it's
a
not
nat
wanting to
1,
load.
so 12.
Octavia got a dirty 20.
Load
20.
please.
6.
Perception, I got a 13.
Yeah, this build is crazy.
13.
I rolled a 7 with advantage, and I still
Nice.
had the highest one.
Everyone that rolls over 20, you kind of get a little bit outside of camp. This barrier goes for a bit to create a little bit more of an illusion in a safe space. And those of you who rolled over 20 notice a small group of individuals dressed in kind of tattered blue garb. You see armor peeking out of their robes. They have some light camouflage on as they're making their way through these sand dunes. And you notice that there are a couple shorter individuals, one or two more burlier individuals, about one person in the middle. So just kind of slowly making their way towards camp. And as probably Lily and Al, you kind of arc over. Al, what did you roll?
A
Did you roll
6.
above 20? 6. So as Al kind of like juts over to the side and Lily flies almost directly over them, you look up, or you look down and they look up, and you make eye contact with a familiar dwarf, Lily, a Bulrus Ironflight. I don't know if y'all remember that name.
From Borden.
Oh. Are they the drinking buddies?
They are the Skull Crushers.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping.
Oh.
As they kind of
Knew it.
look up and begin to wave you down, you do see that there are like a handful of like the fully trained Night Eyes that are also on your tails, and they are beginning to like ready spells and weaponry. As you are making this connection of the Skull Crushers entering your campsite.
Oh, I found the names. There we go.
So what are y'all doing as you see your allies are starting to take aggressive actions?
Yeah, stop.
Whoa. Let me
Hold
check
on.
this out.
Kind of like the spells hold, like arrows are like.
I have at least 3 ways to notify you instantly via magic if you need to attack them, okay?
Kind of like just like power down.
Yeah, and she's just gonna fly down to them. Probably like keeping pace with the rest of the group. So that they all like arrive at the same time. She's
Yeah,
gonna pull Al like, no, this way, Al.
Oh, I
Sorry.
see.
Grandpa doesn't see too good at night.
I was trying to do a perimeter check.
You're missing the forest for the trees. It's okay.
We're not in a forest.
Exactly. You missed the
Oh.
forest.
I see.
you all collect in front of this group as Bolrus kind of steps forward. You see that he is holding his side. There's like a gash through his side as he holds. I think he had a big old war axe.
I don't have the weapons.
I don't have the weapons either, so. um, and you approach. He kind of like looks over the group. I forget what he talked like. I feel like I tried to do Scottish and it doesn't go well.
I didn't write down the voice
Fantasy.
either.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ned.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's over here.
I found this group of guys out the woods.
Yes. Oh yes. I recognize most of you, but that is not Scott. Like I always go like Eastern European random collection of accents.
Fantasy.
That's
how
your
we-
home.
That's where we end up. I recognize most of you, but I don't seem to notice the purple one over here. Can I take it that this is Lily of some sort?
Hi, this is Lily in her real body. Yep.
Ah, marvelous, marvelous. You do not have drinks, do you? Currently on you.
I do.
She looks to Octavia.
I do.
Octavia points at Zephyr and she's like, bag of colding.
Bag of colding, and he like opens up his little like over the shoulder cooler bag.
Can't
How
How
believe
much you guys
my-
want? I got a lot.
I'm glad we stole that from my dad.
I think he gave it to me.
No, we took it
No.
I think that
forcefully
was like
so that he wouldn't
giving him
drink
his
anymore.
blessing.
He
can-
must have given it to you
It was-
afterwards.
it was-
I
no,
definitely
it was
remember taking
reluctant.
it.
Yeah,
it was,
no, we
it was
definitely-
reluctant.
But,
It was coerced.
he told me I could
Yeah.
have it.
She was like, "This is come to bed."
Yeah, vodka, please. I take whole bottle. Thank you. You just watch as like he like puts the bottle up and then he does one of those like swirling things. As the swirls the bottle, just.
Yup.
Yep.
Classic.
Zephyr gives Woody a look that just says, "Would be rude to not drink with them." Zephyr tries to do the exact same thing, but like it goes down the wrong pipe. and
I'm
he
like,
just
make a
coughs.
con save for me, please.
I
Just sprays
intentionally
out the
fail.
bottle at
Yeah, he
himself.
just like coughs it. It goes down the wrong pipe.
Well, I still
You
need a
just-
con save to
Oh,
see how
okay.
bad it is.
You know what? That's
Mm.
fair.
Is it a like cough or is it like a lunch coming back up situation?
18.
18. Okay. Yeah, you like spit up a little bit of like the liquor that was going straight down your throat. You still hold on to your lunch though. So no worries there.
It was the wrong
Um,
Octavia punches his back.
pipe. Ow!
You're not coughing anymore, are
You're
you?
supposed to do it with an open hand.
That's not as effective.
Just punch me.
Slaps him in the face. How about that?
She's already insulted him. She doesn't need to injure him.
Insulting.
But yeah, to save our audience's ears from me trying to do this accent, you eventually figure out that the Skull Crushers have not mutinied, but
Defected.
Defective.
they have
Yeah.
they have
Mhm.
defected from Borden. They had been kind of suspicious of the intentions of Borden and the what are they called?
Tridel.
Well, no, the
Rose
Borden
Claw?
people, Blue Talons,
Oh.
I think.
I wrote down crow's claw. That could be something else. That could just be a symbol. That
Yeah.
was their symbol, I bet.
Their symbol is like a crow's claw. Because you've got, I don't think I had named the other school. Crow's Claw might be the school. And then Blue Talons are like their version of Night Eyes.
Night Eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. But they had been suspecting and questioning the intentions of the Blue Talons for a bit now. And after figuring out in a war briefing that your group was the main target of this defense of Ember's Blaze, they decided that to figure out some of the truth for themselves. As you all, depending on how much you want to share with them, I don't know if you want to tell them the whole story of everything.
Lily does.
They
Well,
seem kind of chill.
I'm not saying
yeah.
she will, but she wants to.
I'm
Yeah.
on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Octavia might be like, if you're truly as well intentioned as you say, you would not subject to like some light mind reading just to make sure. Just because, you know.
Mind reading, zone of truth. You know, you could do what you got to do.
She will kind of motion to the Night Eyes.
Yep, you have like a paladin that steps forward, as well as probably Amphira herself will walk up. You just have
Oh,
to be
yeah.
certain.
Don't remove anything.
There's like a small hesitation. We're like, of course not. But yeah, the Skull Crushers have joined your side, adding another ground unit
Let's go.
to ground combat unit.
This is
Nice.
the
Yeah.
most important unit. I don't
Yeah.
know if we realize that. This is the most important unit.
No, Max is gonna throw us a curveball and have the morning don't show up.
I hope they don't. Haha.
But that is kind of all of the eventful stuff that happens before night time. So-
Lily wants to have a briefing with the Skull Crushers tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm writing it down.
So I guess my question going into the evening is who has the shards?
I think I still have one. Winnie, do you
I-
want it, or do you want to like? do you
Well,
have
I
a
have to miss
preference?
tonight, so someone
Oh,
can
yeah.
have my shard.
Why do you have to miss
Grandpa.
it?
So I have to
You want to
convene
read
with
through the night.
Blazidin.
Oh, right.
We can say Winnie will go, but I won't
Mhm.
Yeah.
participating
Mhm.
fully.
And that means Dwoo.
Oh yeah, because
Ooh.
Febron's reading.
Yeah, he's kind
Winnie,
of.
Al.
Is there enough for me to still have one? Because I'll probably take my short rest at some point in the night, and then like join in for an hour for like so Februm can be there for an hour, if that's how that would work.
I guess it would just depend on because Winnie, Al, Octavia, and Zephyr would be 4.
Al
If he wants
was
one, yeah.
also interested in speaking with Blazidin. If
Ooh,
Yeah.
I also the kind
Also,
of
not
sounds-
everyone has to go.
Yeah.
I know we've been playing it as like if you have a shard, you go, but like it
You
is a
can say
willing.
no.
Yeah, you can say
Yeah.
no.
I kind of want to talk to Blasden too.
I don't know if everyone can opt
But,
into
yeah.
this.
yeah, I didn't know if I could
That's
opt
fair.
in, but I
This
at
was
least want to know
something
what
that-
happens.
Lily and
Oh, I guess,
Iris
yeah.
were permitted to do.
Mhm.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it will work.
Iris and what's his name? Oh
Axel?
God, Axel. Jesus.
No.
Those would be the two to talk to about limit and stuff
Mm-hmm.
for the Blazin encounter. If y'all want to have that conversation before we go to bed.
Winnie, if you don't want to go, I'll ask Sai. Sai, you want to meet one of Lily's other kids?
Lily has children? Damn,
Well, I
she
mean,
looks
like,
good.
Axel.
More than one?
But
No, Sash.
Couldn't even
I
tell.
mean, Axel's like a surrogate
No.
son, but
She raised Axel, but like kind
this
of
one's like a
like-
god.
He was like
Or, like,
12.
was
and
once a
all of a sudden
god.
He
It's
was like 12 and then became 17. So like that's like that.
That's
close
like
to
Yeah.
5
season.
years.
but he's also like 300
In like
or
3 days.
something.
I don't know.
That's a lot of math.
Yeah.
That's not a math.
It's 305.
Sure, I love children.
Cool.
Even 305-year-old children and ancient godly entities. Count me in.
Someone please take notes for me. I don't want to miss this, but I really need to
I
have this
gotcha.
other conversation.
And I
Um,
will actually take notes for you, Lily.
So
Okay,
at
well, that's
least
just
Octavia
rude.
and Zephyr are going. And Winnie?
Yeah.
Can.
Two child?
Yeah, sure. I'll
And then
go.
Vebram will
Okay.
show up for the second half if he's only taking a short rest.
Yeah, just help
Go
out
for a
with
little
Sai.
bit.
She'll be the guest for the guest episode, the cameo. She'll be the Adam Sandler to Jesse.
Crazy cameo.
What a wild
I never would
pull.
have picked that one.
I'm just waiting
Oh
for
my
him to
gosh.
play
David
Gangnam
Spade
Style.
shows up too.
He does?
It's a whole Adam Sandler movie in Full House.
All we were missing is John Candy, and it could be something really special.
And John
That's
Travolta.
So funny.
Alrighty. So Lily, Zephyr, or I guess Lily and Al at least find themselves with Iris and Axel. Talking about this Blazin encounter. Axel kind of starts off with, well, I mean, like, technically speaking, I could probably do anything, but like, it should be fine, right?
We don't want you
Like,
to.
what's the worst that happens? Like, your soul gets burned up in the dream.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, right? I mean, like Winnie had to deal with that all the time, so like,
That's so sad.
you should be fine, Al.
Do you guys need a hug?
Okay.
Any of you?
Oh, I'm fine. And Blazin is actually like always kind of liked Iris. You know, and then like Lily is like pretty magical and everything, and like Al has his stuff, so
I thought
he
we
should be
hit it
fine.
off.
Yeah, I have my stuff.
Al, have you met Blazin?
No, not face to face, I don't think.
It'll get hot. It gets really hot in there. It'll
He's
come
pretty
back
intense.
sweaty. You'll come
Well, it
Seems like a
depends
lot
on
of older
his state of
deities have that
mind.
effect on Al.
I've only ever been sweaty, so I guess it doesn't count.
I've talked to his wife.
Oh yeah, you did. Maybe don't tell him that when you get there.
That
Yeah,
is
Maybe
exactly
that's
what I
not
was
something
trying
you
to
bring
talk to
up.
him about, actually.
Don't bring
Should
that
I
up when you
not?
get
Well-
Older ladies who hit on you?
Maybe
No.
maybe
She did
Lily
not.
talks first, and then we talk about my mom.
Okay.
And you have
I'll-
to.
Read the vibe.
I just want to make sure that you're open-minded enough to go into this encounter because I don't think he's going to be what you're expecting.
Okay. I don't know what I am expecting, actually.
I don't
so,
know either, but
Um,
it's not what I was expecting either at first.
yes.
Well, tell Uncle I said hi. I want to go meet with the kid.
Sure thing.
As Zephyr's walking away with Sai, he goes, now the first thing you want to do is don't pay any attention to the studio audience.
The
They're
what?
gonna laugh, they're
Don't
gonna
look
cheer,
at the
just
camera.
ignore 'em. Don't look at the camera. You get like one wave at the camera when you walk in, but that's about it.
You see like Sai suddenly stare off into the distance, and then there's this camera pan in on Sai's face.
Just like, oh god, I can see it now.
I can see it.
It's broken.
It's everywhere. She looks around, another pan in.
It's just the Jim from The
boy.
Office look.
But yeah. As long as it's just the two of y'all, Axel seems pretty confident that he can make it work to link everyone's kind of dreams together. So yeah. Who wants to go first? You want to do Child God first, or we want to do Blasden first?
I'm indifferent. Whichever's would be easier / faster, maybe.
I think
So you can depend-
I think
Child God
narratively,
first.
I would say Blasden first.
Okay.
I'm more curious about Blasden.
Alrighty. So Al and Lily. All right. So y'all get situated. Axel has you kind of like lay with all your heads like close to each other in like a circle. And he's like, everyone's like hydrated, right? It's very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Counting down from 3. 3, 2, and then you're all asleep. And as soon as like you fall asleep, you open up your eyes, and there is an intense amount of heat. You are essentially surrounded by a field of flame. The ones directly underneath you are pretty low and tapered, all flickering orange, red, and gold, little hints of black on the edges. But as the flames get farther away from you, they begin to kind of like build up. And there is a large dining room table. Think like a grand hall table with various foods kind of sprawled around it. And you see specifically Al, who has not been in this space before. You see a towering figure dressed in red and gold robes. Their expression is blocked from your view, but you can just feel the heat radiating off of this individual. As you hear a voice radiate into your heads. I see you've come to join me for supper. Lily, Iris, Axel. Yeah, hi Dad. Sorry for barging in. Hope it's like okay. They have like some like stuff to talk to you about, and like Al, you suddenly feel the gaze like fall onto you. A newcomer. I don't believe we've met in person before.
Not in person.
I am Blasden, the son, the creator of the devouring, the fallen celestial. And you are?
Um, I am Aldrich Bernask. What is my dad's name? Son of Oliver Bernask. Ancestor, I believe, of Reiki.
Go ahead and make a con save for me, please.
Yeah,
Ugh.
that's a tough one. We're right off the bat with that
That's
one.
the kicker.
I just didn't want to lie to him. 23.
23. You feel just this, like, as you mention Reiki, there is this intense wave of heat that just, like, washes over you and almost, like, knocks you back. You have to, like, take a step back to steady yourself. You do not gain a level of exhaustion. Not yet.
Yeah.
But Axel will be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's like all good now. Like it's like it's all solved. Yeah. Blazin kind of like looks towards Axel. It would appear so. Curious. So, what have you come to discuss with me?
We want to understand your plan. We are going into Ember's Blaze imminently, and we want to make sure that our forces are not misplaced, and our trust is where it ought to be.
If you intend to enter Ember's Blaze, you must be careful. While my physical form is present, I have very little sway over how the magic in that area operates. As far as my plans go, it has been my intention for at least this generation to find a way to end it. End the suffering that I have brought upon this world. And I'm fairly confident that that comes with the ending of my existence.
I believe we are on the same side, obviously. Will you lend your support to us? In whatever means you can. I know you can't control what goes on, but you're perhaps the only one that has any influence over the arena.
I will I can lend you advice of the conditions of the arena itself, but as far as my influence over the arena itself, there's very little I can do while Duskradil still holds control. She has been my warden of sorts for quite a while now. She is the one with control over what happens in Ember's Blaze.
Then please enlighten us about the conditions.
As you could probably have guessed, he like kind of like looks to the side, and you watch as he waves his hand, and the flames on like kind of the border create a kind of facsimile of Ember's Blaze itself. with these kind of like blue outlined flames. There is quite a bit of heat in the area. The longer you remain in Ember's blaze, the more intense it becomes. The fire will begin to eat away at your very essence over time. Outside, because I was trying to think about like how do I do this in character? Okay, we're gonna do this little like step out. Here's some mechanics.
Okay.
So as you are inside Ember's blaze, you will begin to accumulate blaze counters. While you have blaze counters, you will take fire damage at the start of every turn. And you, at the beginning of each round, you will gain a blaze counter. You take a set number of fire damage for every blaze counter you have, and it will continuously go up as you are there. As well as any time that you take necrotic damage, you will take additional necrotic damage in accordance to how many blaze counters you currently have. As the continuous heat eats away at your stamina, and the true essence of the devouring eats away at your soul.
Awesome.
Nice.
These any restoration of sorts remove a set number of buildup. Trying to put this into like in-world speech.
We'll reduce the flames by a
Reduce the
certain amount.
flames by a certain amount, depending on the level of restoration that you decide to use. I.e., lesser restoration gets rid of a little bit, greater restoration gets rid of more, and then anything that would like heal will get rid of everything. So a lot of your higher level stuff will completely reset you. I highly recommend keeping up with reduction of this flame. As it builds, it will intensify and decrease your chances. I also do not know to what extent, but Duskradil has established forces in the flames that will attempt to impede and damage you on your endeavor. I.e., she has puzzles and challenges that are going to have to be either solved, and there will also be minions.
Nice.
Love puzzles.
In the end, though, if you can release me from my binds, I believe I will have the power to eliminate Duskradil once and for all, as well as the authority to hand over the shard.
So, to release you, we just need to incapacitate her?
I do believe that she holds a tie herself, but there are several other binds that have been established through the centuries that will need broken.
Okay, centuries old bindings, got it. Can you tell us about the way she fights?
She is
Any weaknesses or strengths?
She is deranged. Over the years, she has developed quite the resistance to the flames of the blaze, as well as being a goddess of the dark moon. Life force stealing energy has little to no effect on her. And being a celestial in nature, radiant energies are not going to be as effective as you would like. Obviously, like, don't hit her with non-magical stuff either. Like, that's gonna be just.
That's right out.
I think we've moved past that at this point, though. Be careful as the fight progresses and as she becomes more injured. Her movements will become more sporadic, more deranged. While she does tend to lean into her necrotic elements, don't think that that doesn't mean she can't fight face to face. She was always the most nimble of the three.
And do you expect that we will be fighting her and Lunaris at the same time?
I can't say for certain, but I haven't detected my sister's presence yet. It's strange and concerning, to be honest. She has sent forces, but has yet to appear herself. I greatly fear that she has some greater plan in the works.
Yeah. Al, do you have anything?
Ooh. Um. What? Oh. What am I even?
Save at this point.
Yeah. It's about time. Oh my gosh.
17. I'll add a
Mhm.
flash of genius for 20.
27.
Yeah, y'all are both good, but as Winnie has described several times, the longer that you were in this dream state, you can feel the heat intensifying as it attempts to corrode and weaken your spirit. It doesn't seem to be something that like Blazinin is intentionally doing. It's just an
Right.
aspect of
Mhm.
this like dream state.
What will happen to you once we unbind you?
At first, not much, I hope. I hope I have a moment of clarity, but I do fear that my centuries of destruction will catch up with me. There is a high likelihood that I will not be able to retain my sanity for long. I have theorized for a while now that these bindings, while keeping me anchored in place and reducing my powers have also staved off the effects of the devouring on myself. I would recommend disposing of me quickly. Now, do not be misled. This is less than the best outcome. As he kind of like you see him kind of glance, and for the first time, you see like a little like sparkle of these golden eyes underneath the cloak. As he looks out, he kind of like doesn't make a direct eye contact with Axel, but kind of glances over in that direction. I wouldn't want to cause any more trouble than I have already created.
If by some miracle we find a way, would you want to stay?
My question for you would be, do I deserve to?
Well, I would say that you gave me a second chance, and if possible, I would like to return that favor.
That is very kind. If you can find some way to keep my insanity at bay, or bind me in some way to your favor, I would not be opposed. But do not let me cause more destruction than I already have.
Understood?
Go ahead and make another con save, both of y'all.
Yeah. Ah, 29.
At 21.
Beautiful. Both still good. You do feel it intensifying. Lily, you feel like it's getting close. You're starting to feel like the sweat.
Mm.
Starting to get that like uncomfortable hot where it's not
Yeah.
quite eating away at you yet, but a roll like that may not be
Right.
a success next time. And as you kind of look around, Iris and Axel do start to kind of like falter a little bit. Axel goes like, I'm gonna sit down real fast." Starts fanning himself, which just starts like making the flames behind him go higher.
Yeah.
Iris is like, I don't think. Oh well.
Is there anything else?
I don't think so.
Have you all thought about what happens afterwards? What
I
happens
mean,
when
I'm
you
sure.
have...
I'm sure everyone thinks about it sometimes.
If I could have one request. If you have any control of how the next world is created, make it a bright place. I know you have all grown and lived in an era where the sky is dark. But it is quite beautiful when the sun rises through the sky.
Okay.
Yeah. Blazin kind of waves a hand, and you see a bright golden door kind of rise out of the flames in the opposite direction of him. If there's nothing else, I'm sure you need your rest.
It'll all be over soon. She'll head out.
I will
Um,
follow.
Iris and Axel kind of stand up. And as y'all are getting ready to leave, Axel kind of turns and I'll be right behind y'all. Promise. I just wanna. I'd like to say goodbye. I don't know if I'll get another chance.
I think Lily looks to Iris and kind of walks out with her.
She'll give
I
Axel like a peck on the cheek.
Yeah.
I will put a hand on his shoulder and cast Enhance Ability for Constitution if need be. And
Cool.
then I will leave.
Like it only works on checks, not saved, but
Yeah, but
Oh, it
it's
does?
the thought that counts.
Oh, poop. Well, it
In
is
this
the thought that
context, we
counts.
can
Hey.
manipulate it a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, you all go back into. Well, you wake up for a moment, kind of drenched in sweat, all in your own right. You do notice that question. Um, as she like goes up and like grabs a glass of water, just starts like chugging it. Like, oh god, oh god. But you can drift off into a peaceful sleep. It's a little bit longer until Axel reawakens. Like just enough time for you to get worried. But then he does wake up. He is not sweating nearly as much as everyone else is, but that's not necessarily to be unexpected.
right.
But yeah, he will get up, and he steps out for a second, kind of putting on just his like overcoat, and kind of walking out of the tent. He doesn't say much. Iris kind of like grabs his hand as he walks, And he will give Iris a kiss on the top of her forehead. He's like, I'll be right back. I'm
See
out.
where he goes. Lily just shakes her head.
Cool. He's not trying to be stealthy or anything. He walks out of the tent, and walks not outside of camp, but outside of like the perimeter. So like not outside the barrier, but outside of like all the tents, up onto one of the dunes. And you see him kind of sit up there for a second, staring up at the dark moon in the sky.
Yeah, she won't interrupt.
I would say after about an hour, you notice that he falls asleep outside.
Yeah, she will. I don't know if Iris would still be awake. Probably.
I think because of the exhaustion, Iris has
Oh,
like kind of it's one of those like she's in like the rocking chair, and a blanket has been like put over her lap, and she's just kind of
yeah.
like conked out in the corner. One of those like I tried to stay up, but I am very, very tired.
She's gonna go over and kind of nudge him awake. Be like, "Hey, we need to get to bed and not this dune."
He kind of like jumps up a little bit. Um, he seems like okay. I'm like, it's not like the red eyes, like he's been crying for a really, really long time or anything, but it's that like solemn acceptance. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of like a distance stare. He's like, oh yeah, it's bedtime, isn't it? It's sandy out here anyway.
I think she just because I never get to use this spell, she's gonna summon a phantom steed. Um, to especially if he's drowsy to like take them both back, even
Mhm.
if it's not that far.
Just kind of like silently clomps along. Uh,
I think it has very little substance. There is like an invisible horse shape surrounding just what looks like a horse constellation.
mhm. Yeah. Takes you back over to the tent, and you all fall asleep. Um, Back over to our other group. You all pass out, uh, going to bed, but then quickly waking up to a familiar seaside cottage. Um, Go ahead and make some perception checks.
I got another dirty 20. I feel like that
I
thing
got a
barely rolled.
10.
Got a 10,
26.
26, 30, 20, 10. February, I'd say you're probably not here quite yet.
Mm-mm.
Um, but those over 20s are gonna get you. As you're looking around, they look kind of like little dark specks for a second, but you notice all of these like dark purple and black, and some like orange and yellow orbs that are kind of just like floating around. As you find yourself in front of the Godchild's beachside cottage. Uh, Unlike other times, there is no ecstatic like run out to meet you.
Mm.
Um, as you wait a little bit while longer, you look to the chimney of the cottage, and another one of those. We'll say this one is kind of like a dark forest green, kind of just like pops out of the chimney and starts just kind of like floating around.
Octavia will like knock up to the door or walk up to the door and knock and be like, "Hello, love? Are you in there?"
Oh, it's unlocked. You can come in.
She will go in and make her way toward where she saw those things come out of.
Make a deck save as you open the door.
Oh boy, okay. You said
You've been
dex save.
hotboxing.
Deck save, yes.
Okay. Hotboxing. That is a 18.
18. As you open the door, there is but a quick moment for you to kind of like slip to the side and press yourself up against the wall as just a wave of these orbs comes like flooding out like party balloons. And then just like kind of begin to disperse and kind of float into the sky.
You've been
Zephyr
busy.
gets hit by them.
Yeah, Octavia moves just
Zephyr, you
out of
get
the
hit
way.
by them. Zephyr disappears.
Oh no. Well.
For a brief moment, Zephyr is gone. When you like looked at Zephyr and one of these orbs hit him in the chest, and then he went.
Your
God damn it.
your uncle
Where
just
did he go?
disappeared. What's going on?
Wait,
What
did he
happened?
like teleport or something? Like,
Is
No.
that what that did? One of those
The
orb things hit
orbs.
him.
oh, he touched the orb. Wait a
Ooh.
second.
That's more of annihilation.
Oh god. Oh, damn, he was pondering
Do you-
again.
Do y'all remember which one he ran into? As you see,
In
like
green.
this like collection of like orbs that are just like slowly like flying into the sky.
It was green?
Oh god. Let's try this one. And the child will go up and he touches one of the orbs, and you watch very similar to Zephyr, the child gets like sucked into it. And then like a second later you see like him like rematerialize next to it. You're like, nope, not that one. And he's kind of like seems to be hopping around for a minute. Zephyr, you find yourself actually go ahead and roll a d4 for me, please.
Okay. All I can think of is like the Wii remote speaker "Help Me" from when you like press the A button in Super Mario Brothers Wii.
Help me.
Help me! I got a 3.
Got a 3.
Uh,
Yeah, so you find yourself on wasn't quite a green one that you ran into. This one was a little multicolored. As
cute.
you find yourself standing on the surface of a strange world. You find yourself at this crossroads with 4 very distinct patterns heading out in either direction. You see a grand ocean of deep dark blue water, a mountain towering into the sky in the distance. You see a one section of continuous winds that are blowing, and there doesn't seem to be any ground, just an empty, like airy space. And then you see just a like towering column of fire and volcanoes over to one side. It doesn't feel like the hellish fire that you've experienced from the devouring. It feels very pure in its magic. You're not there for too long though, as eventually the godchild kind of like pops in and is like, "Oh hey, found you.
Oh,
Wasn't one of the
hey.
green ones."
Yeah.
What?
The only hint I got was wrong.
Spoiler: the
Do you
godchild
wanna-
is colorblind.
Yeah,
Do you want to get out of here?
Where? I'll ask when we get out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Here.
Save the exposition.
You like you get like kind of sucked into this little like void, and you the other two of you watch as the child and Zephyr rematerialize outside one of these orbs.
Ah,
Whoa,
Welcome
that could have
back.
been bad. I've made a lot of those.
yes.
What
What?
are they?
Oh, they're planes.
You're making. You're.
Oh, you can just
What?
do that?
Well,
Like, that's
you
really cool.
you all told me to like find something that I really enjoy doing, and I like started like I started making things, and I was like, why not make like a really big thing? Because that sounds like a lot of fun. So I've been like experimenting with like different planar constructions.
I love this
When he
game.
like gently nods, like, "Wow, that's so cool." Well, also like not like nudging Tommy to be like, "Write that down. Write that down."
Yeah, no, Octavia definitely has a little. She's pulled out like her note, like her to-do list or whatever, and starts jotting notes for Lily and Februm. Well,
Yeah.
Februm will get here and see,
So
but for Lily,
what plane was I
That's
in?
cool.
That one was one of the primordial renditions. I have a couple different
It
ones.
was
Like
kind of cool.
I've thought about like dividing it into 4 individual ones, or just keeping it as like the one all together. It's still a work in progress.
I
That's
see.
very
Super impressive,
exciting.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's really nothing. I mean, I just kind of like think about it, and then I just start like weaving together the fabrics of reality, and boop, it's right there.
It's nothing. You know.
Yeah, you know.
No, it's really impressive.
Now,
actually.
now, love,
Yeah.
Mhm.
this is wonderful, and I love this experimentation. But if we are to visit, it is quite dangerous. I had no idea that these things were inside the house, and when I opened the door, Zephyr couldn't get out of the way in time.
Sorry. I got a little distracted, like I kind of just like figured out that I could do it, and I've been doing it a lot. He's kind of like they look up and they just like realize oh there's
Just
a lot
how
of them.
many? Yeah. So while I love this
maybe
expression of self and ideas,
Mhm.
perhaps we should do something with them once you've thought of a new idea?
like a storage system,
Yes.
or is it like save the blueprint for later, but like delete the construct?
Exactly.
Gotcha,
There's
gotcha.
Very
Life
smart.
in these planes. Are there?
No,
Okay. Then
I don't
yeah.
think so. At least I didn't do that intentionally.
Well, we can save the blueprints for those, correct?
Oh, yeah.
If there happens to be. So let's do that instead.
I'm just
'Cause
thinking of the moral
no need for anybody to.
ambiguity of
Don't worry about that
wiping a
yet. We're not there
plane
yet,
of-
Zephyr. Just take a deep breath.
Gonna be okay.
You didn't see what I saw, man.
Because there is a time and a place for all of this creativity, but you don't want to create an excess.
But like, wouldn't more mean that like there's more like room and there's like more adventure? Like there's more to do?
Perhaps in some cases, but more can also be too big. There is such a
Too
thing.
big.
More
And
is
then
too,
there's a
more
thing
can be
called
too big.
burnout, and like you could stop enjoying what you really enjoy doing because you do it so much, and there's a whole thing,
There's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole.
The laugh track goes off.
But yeah, depending on if y'all had any specifics that you want to do, the child will start cataloging all of the universes, all of the planes, excuse me. And like goes in, checks, will pop back out. No life forms on this one, and then you see him like smack it into a book, and it just like becomes like a little like circle on the book with a little like description that like starts scribing itself out.
I think Zephyr takes like a big interest into this and asks if he can like follow him into all of these planes.
Oh yeah.
He's so curious, and he like wants. I want the kid to know that like I am excited about the things he's excited about. Like he didn't do a bad thing,
No, none of us
Mhm.
put off that
and
impression.
I want him to show. Yeah, I just want him to like know that I'm excited for what he's excited about.
Yeah. So you go through, and it is a crazy mixture, collection, kind of hodgepodge of different planes of existence that are an amalgamation of the 4 planar shards that you have collected. So there are some that are just like pure Fey, ones that are familiar to you, being like pure material, pure constructed, and pure planar. But more interesting are like the mixed planes. So there is a like primordial construction shard where there is this very intense elemental magic that seems to be powering all of this like this constructed plane. So you see like the weavings of elemental magic being used to power constructs. There is a very like luscious, like Feywild, like space, but is rooted in reality. So it is like more beautiful than any world that you could imagine. Real and not real at the same time. But yeah, kind of like along those vibes, you see out like bits and pieces of these different planes that have been like smashed together to create new planes and new landscapes. And like different quantities too. So like there are ones that are like mainly material plane with just like a little scattering of like extra elemental magic. It is like sight to behold, and you essentially you plane hop with
So cool.
this child.
I gotta hand it to you. You have some creativity. This is amazing.
I mean, I just like kind of like let it go and just did what came to me.
Hey, that's art. That's how art's made. And it's a thing of beauty. You're doing a great job.
Ah, shucks, Uncle Zephyr.
I give him a little like noogie. It's very cute.
Yeah. Anyone else doing anything in specific?
I think when he
Does
comes
Februm
back,
show up?
well,
Februm does like pop in as
I
like
want to be there so
Zeph-
badly.
Zephyr and the child like pop out of one plane, and then they like quickly you like enter the dream as they're like running past you. And they're like, "It's Februm! We'll be right back!" And then like,
the
All right.
the plane hopping. Don't touch any of the bubbles.
one
Play-
flex like
These are
right
all
past your face.
planes?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're cataloging them.
Do we have where's the catalog at?
The godchild has it.
Well, I was gonna say that probably like either Winnie or Octavia, depending on whichever one of you wanted to, or if either of y'all wanted to be plane hopping as well, are probably like sitting with the catalog.
If Winnie wants to go with, Octavia could be holding it while she's taking notes on it.
I
As
think when he's little, like, let Zephyr have his fun. He can do it.
Once a plane is in the catalog, you can kind of like touch that circle that it creates.
oh, and like
And
look
it-
through it a little bit.
It essentially becomes like a Google Street projection.
Yes, let's go.
Where you like can like
Yeah.
slide through and kind of like travel around the globe and touch different areas of it.
Yeah, so Octavia will
cool.
kind of hold the book up to Februm and just like kind of push through maybe something that's a little primordial, a little material, just like kind of shows him.
This is going to be a large book.
It's like a volcanic world.
Hmm.
Should we? I suppose we don't have the power to do so, but should we make like a library?
I'm sure we can mention that when he comes back. I was going to say, once he's done putting all these away, because Zephyr got stuck in one for a hot sec, and then he had to go find the one that Zephyr got stuck in. So I told him he should catalog the worlds that he's made, keep the blueprints, close the plane, because good lord, I would like to see him create something that has his favorite parts from each one, just to make one big plane. 'Cause
Yes.
that could
If we
be
are talking about
interesting.
planes, quality over quantity would probably be a better structure.
I mean, I don't know much about this topic, but I thought maybe that too much is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to teach him that when he comes out, that would be much appreciated. Perhaps you can make a library where you can help him devise a system to put better ideas versus like the more dangerous.
Idea of what we're going to discuss.
All right. Good. I'm just writing notes for Lily, but I'm sure you two can have an in-depth discussion when we wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how'd you get that one so pink? Like, it was everywhere.
Sprinkle of Feywild, some elemental in there, and material
Oh.
base.
I think I'm like starting to understand.
Do you see it?
I do. I do see it. That's
Pretty incredible, right?
really cool. Really cool. Woody, you gotta check this one out.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't.
I'll take
I'm not-
pictures.
Okay.
Februm, you doing anything in specific?
Yes.
Kind of like joining in?
I would love to work with him, because letting the creativity flow is good, but it's not going to make its way anywhere if you don't have at least a skeleton for the final product. So Februm wants to work with him on like possible ideas of structurally how the final, like, I guess universe, I don't know what you would call it, would be structured, like how the planes would be connected, maybe with the mixtures. There's certain like subplanes that connect each plane with each other that has the mixtures of the two planes.
I didn't
within
even think about
itself.
like travel planes, little
Mhm.
like mini ones.
Little
Corridors.
checkpoints, essentially, corridors, hallways, if you will, and there could still be life in those sections that have adapted to both sides, but having each plane its separate entity, but still having them connected.
Linked, but like linked via like a connection with other connections, like a spider web.
A spiderweb of sorts, yes. We don't want this to get too out of hand, per se.
Or perhaps maybe like a tree with roots.
Oh.
Could be.
Travel up or down the tree depending on where you want to go. Interesting. You see, like the wheels start turning.
We can come up with a couple more base skeletons, per se.
Remember
Obviously,
what you said
ultimately,
about
it's
quantity over quality over quantity.
Obviously small. We're not going large here. It's good to have a couple ideas to work with, however. Narrow them down as you go to see which one you like the most.
On it. Creating different structures. Okay. Anything else? Alrighty then. Ooh.
Just when Octavia leaves, she's just like, Lily loves and misses you.
Yeah, I was wondering why she wasn't here, but I figured that she got other stuff to do. You know, I don't take it personally.
You shouldn't. She had a very important meeting to attend.
Yeah, I know there's a lot going on. Like, I don't like have full consciousness outside of this kind of dream state, but like, I do feel that there is another part of me really close by.
That is what we are working on
Mhm.
currently. Wish us luck.
Good luck. Don't die. That would be really sad.
Gonna do our best not to.
Do our best.
I don't necessarily understand the concept, but I'm getting there.
And you know what? Sometimes people die. And there's not much that you can do about that.
And we'll see about that.
Bet.
Yeah.
He said,
She-
"Nah, I'm different."
She just kind of puts her hand on his head and just gives it a little shake. And she's like, you stay safe now.
You too. It'd be really, really sad to be like creating a new world and stuff, and y'all wouldn't be there.
Love this kid, man.
We'll see you on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Octavia's awake.
Yep. And y'all wake back up into reality.
There goes gravity.
Yep, it's gone now.
There goes gravity. But yes, you wake up in the morning. There is a bit of a commotion outside, as a kind of teleportation spell goes off, as a blue elf steps out, into the quad. Erdis is blue, right? I'm not making that up, right?
Sounds good. Probably like midnight blue, but
Midnight blue.
not like Smurf blue.
Not Smurf blue. But
Papa
Hi,
Smurf.
Papa Smurf.
but Erdusk steps out into the middle of camp. He first drops off what looks like more magical hay and some magical apples for the unicorn. Before kind of like turning around, it is very early morning. Just starting the coffee and the eggs. As he kind of turns around and makes eye contact with your group. Connor, I always forget how he talks. He's very like.
Oh, I'm glad to see you all again.
Yep. And like, oh, it is lovely to see you all again. I'm so glad you made it. It has been quite the ordeal thus far to get all of everything coordinated. But you know, making it work. Oh, and I brought back a little someone with me. I think you are all acquainted, probably not on the best terms. But you know, they say they're here to help, so can't blame them too much. As like peeking out from behind Erdusk, you see an elf of high stature and androgynous looks. An elf that you are all familiar with. by the name of Arafina, was the leader of Morning Dew.
Morning
Yeah.
goat! It's morning goat!
They are here.
As they kind of like look in your direction, there's like a cower behind Urdusk. They're like, oh no, can't do that one. Urdusk like steps out of the way.
Wait, are they? Is it all of them? Like they're in a line behind him?
No, it is just Arafina.
Just her.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't see any of the rest of the party that they used to keep. And as Urtus kind of steps away, you see that they've been put through the ringer. Their once very elegant appearance is tarnished and tattered. Their hair has been sliced and cut. They are covered in kind of like cuts and bruises. As they kind of like sheepishly stand there in front of you.
I think Zephyr's gonna very slowly walk up and very like gently hold out his hand for like a handshake and just look at her and go, "Are there others, or is it just you?"
They like look at the hand and like kind of like back up to you. They don't like reach back out for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just me. The others didn't make it out of camp.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. But
I'm here to do what I can.
Well, you can start by not dying. Somebody get a healer. Jeez. She like looks around.
Doctors run over.
Octavia!
Brad's like, I'm on it, and the doc like he like whistles, and you hear him go row 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 as the doctors.
Does Brad have like a little nurse's hat?
Please.
Yeah,
He's an
let's do-
honorary nurse now.
He's got like the little like
He's got the
like
little
plus little
The
like
Red Cross.
the Red Cross
Yeah.
bandage, and he's got like a little like 3-pointed like nurse's hat.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
That's like, okay, let's move quickly, everyone. Yeah, we got this.
I make the
Octavia, have
ambulance
you no
sounds.
class?
We woo.
No class. Just say hi.
you do get to see Brad in action as his important role is to play as like the scanner. He uses his device to do like a medical scan over people. And then you see him like instructing the doctors. Essentially, he's like doing the X-rays and the MRIs through magical
love him.
means.
Heck
No
yeah.
radioactive. Yay.
Yeah.
But like you also noticing that like Brad has been practicing his animal speech as he is like doing like a Dr. Doolittle kind of situation.
That's so cute.
I
Good.
love that. I love that so much.
Who would have imagined Brad doing this when we picked out this petrified guy out of the subway?
I know.
Nobody would have known.
Oh my gosh.
I guess like as the doctors are like pulling her away, Zephyr's just gonna look at her and go, "We'll take all the help we can get, but we need you in your best shape first."
Of course. We should move quickly though.
Yeah.
Why do you say that? Did you like notice something on your way here?
I wasn't party to all the conversations, but there's something going on.
When is there not?
I was about to say there always
Can we-
is.
Can we talk in a war room setting of sorts? Feels a little weird to
Awesome.
be out in the open.
As a matter of fact, I had a meeting planned already, and I think you should be a part of it.
I appreciate that.
As this is happening, Octavia's handing Lily her little notebook. It's like notes from last night. Here you
Oh
are.
my gosh, my baby's making planes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
they grow up so fast. Oh
Yep.
my goodness.
Februm should have all the details, but I figured you'd probably talk about that later. But you can
Yeah,
keep
yes. Thank
this.
you.
I don't. Yes, of course.
Your handwriting's very nice.
Oh, thank you. I practiced.
Yeah, be glad I didn't write any. I don't have very good handwriting.
If I'm gonna be assigning official documents and things like that, I have to have some penmanship of some sort.
Or you could get a stamp.
That would be easier, yes.
Oh, I should do that. I won't need one, but I should do that.
Anyway,
You know
we have
what?
a meeting.
Yes, go to your meeting. Winnie, if you if I get mine commissioned, I'll get you one as well.
Yippee!
Yeah, you all head into the main tent that Amphira has set up like a murder mystery. And all your major players are here. So you've got
Is
let's go down the list. We've got Amphira, we've got Erdus, we've got Feloy, we've got Brad, we've got Rifswin from the Thieves Guild, Hopper, Daisy, Phyllis, Odessa, Silas. Ned is also here. Your whole party. Balrus from the Skull Crushers. The rest of the group doesn't join, just their head. And then Arafina. I
Is
think that's
Faulkner coming?
all the major players. You don't see a Faulkner. You don't see a massive army of bones.
No, have we heard anything from Offensia?
You haven't quite yet.
Okay.
I'm just assuming they're gonna be like late stage players, so I'm not.
Yeah, I figured they would have come in with Feloy, but I don't know.
Nah.
No, they're gonna be that
Does
scene in
Fe-
Endgame when
Eloy,
the
do you have
portals open up.
information?
Yeah.
Does Feloy have information?
Do you want to ask him?
Yeah.
Do you mean the hag that was residing inside of the
Well,
The
yes,
Grove?
The hag, yes.
Oh, yes. She dropped the facade as soon as you all left. She seemed quite pleased with herself, to be perfectly honest. She had something about getting her shit together, as she said, before arriving, but she should be arriving shortly, I assume.
All right.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm. Urdusk will kind of stand up, and he waves his hand, and you see a like battlefield kind of sprawl out, kind of magically like creating itself on the table in front of you. There's a pillar of fire on one side. You see your small encampment a couple of miles in these kind of like dune hills, as well as a collection of enemy forces. He will kind of get everything started. According to my scouting and some intel that we've collected from our Borden and Tridelph folks here, we are outnumbered on a scale of about 2 to 1. Actually, a little bit more than that, if we're being perfectly honest. They have quite a number of people. Fairly highly trained as well. Split into 3 groups. You have the forces of Tridel, the forces of Borden, and then the celestial forces that are guarding more of Ember's Blaze itself, while the other two forces have seemed to create camps on opposite sides of Ember's Blaze. In order to create a kind of half and half perimeter around the pillar of fire itself. So it's gonna be fun. As far as our forces go, we do have quite a few high-level individuals on our side. Myself, Fenzia, not Fenzia yet, Amphira, Pheloi, Silas, yes. But not understating our main group of adventurers, but myself and Amphira had been talking for quite a while, and the plan that we would like to come up with is one that does not require your group's assistance in fending off these exterior forces. Our hope is to be able to punch a hole, per se, an opening, create a path for the rest of you to make your way into Ember's Blaze. With the forces that we have at our disposal currently, the likelihood of a full victory against all of these forces is slim. The most that we're going to be able to do, unless we get very lucky, which is not impossible, is to buy you all time. Time to get done what needs to be done and to keep the mass majority of forces off your back. On our side, we have 14 close range combat units, 3 ranged units, 4 support units, 2 magical ground units, 1 air support unit, and 4 magical air units. The enemy has quite a bit more. At 30 combat units, 10 ranged ground units, 5 ground support units, 5 ground magic units, 5 air combat units, 5 ranged air units, and 5 magic units from the best that we can tell at this point, give or take a handful of units here and there. So this meeting is truly about what direction we would like to take in dealing with these units themselves. Now, do be aware that we are unfortunately at a disadvantage when it comes to the air units. Our ground combat units will be unable to directly interact with these air units. We will have to rely on our ranged and magic units to deal with those threats, the Celestials in specific, as most of them do have wings. And we will lose at least myself and potentially Amphira, if not more, to deal with the magical air units that are the 2 dragons.
Lose as in you won't be able to help like the other people, right?
No, we will probably have our hands full dealing with at least the dragons themselves. Whether or not we want to engage them individually or engage them with their troops is the discussion that we should be having currently.
So, I think we need to get this out of the way, but so many of these people are victims that should not be made to fight. They're fighting a war under false pretenses.
Mm.
I Celestial units, as far as I'm aware, will be relatively unaffected if their physical forms are destroyed here. Give or some exceptions, but they knew what they were getting into. Prioritize them, as far as I'm concerned. But I wanted to propose the idea of our new friends, from Borden and Tridel, to try and dissuade some people from fighting. These are large, large communities of people that were made to fight in a war, presumably against their will. And I think with some well-meaning people from their communities, they may be at least partially persuaded to stand down. And I don't expect it to work for everyone, or even half of them, but if 10 people decide that they won't fight, that's something.
Looking at people's names. Bulrus, the dwarf from Borden, will speak up. He will go. It may be difficult to dissuade Borden people. It is very raised on a culture of fighting and not necessarily violence, but victory and the sorts. Many are not necessarily fighting for the cause, they are fighting to fight. Whatever allows them to do that is kind of the choices they will make.
Well, then tell them where to point their swords.
And then our Athena will stand up. It may be more likely to convince Tridelian individuals to switch sides or evacuate entirely. The nature of Tridel is a little bit more of absolute good and very much raised on a culture that our actions in our city are always for the best. A little toxic at times, I can admit. They kind of like sheepishly like look at the ground. But if we can convince them that they are fighting for evil or bad, he could probably get them to turn down. It will be difficult with the Celestials present, as many view them as unfallible good, and will
Well, then
do
not.
anything they say.
Well, I mean, you're here. Maybe
Is
having your presence with us is helpful in convincing them.
there any proof of corruption that we can show them?
Yeah, how about we show them
I was just like scanning my mind.
Playing on his phone. Huh?
I was gonna say there wouldn't have been a recording of anything
Yeah.
celestial.
It
Yeah, so
wouldn't
I was
be
like,
a
oh,
recording, but what if we had a memory?
Memory.
I was about to say, while I do not wish to relive them in any capacity, I do have quite a few memories of
oh,
my team in specific.
I'll say we could do that, but if you're uncomfortable with that, no worries, bestie. We have a bunch of traumatic experiences with the gods. that we
Lunaris
can
killed him.
Broadcast for you.
She
We don't
did.
need you to go through that.
And Zephyr kind of like unbuttons his little shirt and just shows the big scar.
Yeah.
It hurt.
It's a big X
Yeah.
scar.
We
It's
Yeah,
like
you
it's
know,
like
I
a
think-
star shape.
Yeah, and
I-
me and Axel have plenty of niece and nephew trauma, so like I'm sure we could broadcast that too.
Oh yeah,
Actually, now that I think about it,
being
all
tortured
of
and
us have
experimented
died
on.
except Al.
What's
Let's
up?
Yeah.
Let's go.
not make a habit of that. Thank you.
Yeah, so
We
don't worry. You don't have to relive that experience.
we
can,
don't
we
Side-
can
even
take
really
it apart.
need to show anything violent. She's said plenty of
She's an asshole.
condemning things directly to us. If we have
She
memories
stole
of
my
just that
mom.
alone,
She
Stupid.
did steal her
then
mom.
Stole my mom.
Potentially, if we can make our way into the Tridel encampment and get on their communication network.
I know a hacker.
good one.
Well, and
And
Octavia is gonna kind of look over at Riftwin and be like, "Love, I do believe this is something that you can help us with if it happens to be sneaking into places where we are not wanted."
I do believe that I will be able to get into and hack the communications once we are next to the encampment, but getting there may be a bit difficult. Rifsman will kind of like walk up to the table and he like looks at Erdus and like, may I? Like Erdus like, oh yep, go for it. And he kind of like does like touches the map and like will enhance like the area between the encampment and the Ember's Blaze. Most of this land is quite flat. It is not easy to remain undetectable in this area, especially with the patrols and such. They have positioned themselves quite well where the two locations that they do not have base encampments are the largest areas of flat land. It would be much easier to sneak up to the front of these encampments and find a way to get around than to directly flank them, unless we can come up with some other way to cloak our groups. Or and then Infira will be like, or teleport.
Oh, I'm trying to think. The brain,
Well, I'm
the body
picturing.
is willing, but the brain is not working.
Well, I think if you could see it, the likelihood that it succeeds is much more likely.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say currently looking at as one of the options on the table, but I would say that's
Like,
probably like
you'd be pretty
very
familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they don't need a big group, we have a helm of teleportation at our disposal.
Oh yeah, I got this. Axel will just like put it on the
Yeah.
table.
Yes, correct.
Or
it would need
if
to be a small team.
Arafina knows of any circles, but somewhere, but I doubt it.
There are a couple of circles, but they are very closely watched and guarded. You would probably raise a alarm as soon as you used one.
Mm.
Maybe not a bad idea for
Escape, perhaps.
actual. Well, I was going to say infiltration,
Yeah.
but
Mm.
it would have to be small groups at a time, and it would immediately cause a battle.
Mm.
The plan is to try and persuade them to not fight or to fight Tridel. We'll try that first.
I do believe we could probably drum up a diversion for them. Of course, my only grand idea is cut the head off the snake and the body dies.
Defeating Tridel, or Borden for that matter, would greatly disorient the forces. Our officers, to say, are not nearly as powerful as the ones in the Night Eyes. Um, we could hold our own as groups, but Aophik was always known for how.
I mean, going for the dragons directly would probably draw out most of their forces.
Would it be smart to focus a single dragon?
But then you run the risk of the other one coming to their defense. And then you have 2 dragons to fight on one field of battle instead of just one.
But if we fight Tridel first and Borden shows up, then maybe we can convince them to also fight Tridel. Or their units. Probably not the dragon himself, but
I don't think you're going to convince Borden to fight Tridel. They've been pretty close for a while. If you know what I mean.
yeah, but they want to fight something.
Lily's talking
So
about
fight
the
the
people,
elves?
not the dragons.
Oh yes, yes, yeah. The people
So-
potentially, but
Yes, yes.
the dragons have been.
No, they're not gonna fight each other.
Oh.
Octavia's like,
Well, if we're trying to negate as much bloodshed as possible, we probably shouldn't have the direct forces of a group that very much wants to fighting the force that might not fully want to.
Well, I'm saying I want the people of Borden to fight the dragon Tridel. If at all possible. And if Borden the dragon goes to show up while we fight the dragon Tridel, the dragon Borden will probably bring some of the people of Borden. Heck, maybe they'll fight their own dragon. I don't know. I don't know how desperate they are to fight random things.
How?
gonna take a lot of convincing.
They probably won't fight. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've all fought Borden to some capacity, but that's why most of Borden follows him. Kind of set as like the head champion at the Colosseum. And if you could lay a scratch on him, then you were granted great riches and reward. That's happened to exactly no one in all of Borden history. So
Is
maybe
there...
difficult to get them to fight Borden, but the fighting Tridel, difficult, but not impossible.
But we were never intending for all of them to do it anyway. We're just trying to divert some of their forces.
Do you think if one dragon is in enough danger, the other one will come to help?
I mean, if they're in she looks directly at the guy that did this and does this instead.
If they're very good friends with each other,
If they are roommates,
then yes, I think that might be a possibility. But I also don't know how they operate.
They were roommates.
Well, if
From who would say this? It's probably Erdesk. Well, from what I understand, they are quite close to each other, which we may be able to use to our advantage if we threaten one. The other one should come to help, especially if myself, Amphira, and some of our more heavy hitters are present. They may both show up and leave some of their troops behind. We may be able to use that to our advantage.
How
that case,
long
we
do
want
we
to
have until the assault, and how long do we think we could get somebody inside the city undetected?
Arafina will speak up this time. I would suggest commencing as quickly as possible. Um, the reason that my group was targeted in the way that it was is we overheard conversations that we were not supposed to.
Such as.
It's like a history roll of how much of this information she really knows. Ooh. Does she have advantage? Does anyone want to give her anything?
I'll give her guidance.
I'll give
So
her a bardic.
She's kind of like thinking very hard, struggling. Ooh. What's your bardic?
It is a. Oh, I have the wrong page pulled up. It
D10.
is a D10, I believe. Yes, D10.
That's not as good, but that she is an intelligence character, so not gonna remember all of it. But there Tridel had taken a meeting with Lunaris at Dovetail Academy, and I don't remember everything. The details are kind of fuzzy, but something about combining great powers together and using Crookton's knowledge and expertise to accomplish that. Some unexpected fusion that hasn't happened before.
Like, as in the fusing of gods?
I don't remember all the details. All I remember is that they were close to a breakthrough. They had been. I think they had taken data gathered by the eclipse in how different powers and deities fused together. And we're using that knowledge and understanding to fuse two greater powers of some kind together.
Am I
Are they
crazy,
trying-
or does it sound like Lunaris is just gonna, like, suck up Tridel's power because Tridel doesn't have a shard right now?
Or
No,
is
I was kind of
Lunaris
thinking
trying to
something
take
similar.
Crookton's power?
Or that, I don't know.
Or
Why
they
not
trying to
all of
make, like, a
them?
mega god.
I
Like,
was
they're all
thinking
kinda
more
just-
along the lines of they were trying to combine the infernal and celestial shards.
Oh.
Unless Blazidon has the infernal shard in his possession still.
Either
I
way,
think he
with
does,
the-
because he said when we release him, he can give it to us.
He said he would have the authority to give it to us.
So
Then I
perhaps
would I
Duskredil
assume
has
that
it?
means, yeah, Duskredil or he has it. Especially because I heard from the detailed notes that one of the shards is nearby.
Never mind then. Crisis averted.
Either way,
Yeah,
with the weakened state that Blazidon is in, if they are trying to fuse two powers together, a forced fusion with a weakened Blazidon would probably be what they're aiming for.
There's a lot of ways that
I-
this could go terribly wrong.
There's a lot of ways.
well,
yes.
the main takeaway is that we need to win.
Yes.
Well.
No, had no
Her words
idea.
have not been spoken. I like that plan. Let's go with that
So
one.
new plan, we focus Borden
Borden.
first,
Mhm.
because then if Tridell likelihood, they are already not as motivated, and at the very least they will be easier to dissuade.
Easier trade as well, as long as Tridell is not present in the area.
Right. So we
So-
focus Borden.
Do we want then to leave a ghost company in order to appear as though we are attacking from both fronts, so that we emphasize the attack on Borden, also because they are the more aggressive bunch? Probably better to have more troops on the Borden side. That way, it still looks like we're attacking from both fronts, but then the Ghost Company is the cloud cover for our infiltration team to get into Tridell's camp to try and broadcast this to get them to stop fighting, or at least as many of them as possible.
Yeah, we do need to split the forces, because otherwise they'll just meet up sooner.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Well,
Plus we have
I
to deal
was-
with the Celestials.
Yes,
We
we
will
do need
need a
a
good amount of
host
forces
to
of
cover
Celestials.
us as we infiltrate the Celestial encampment, so that we can focus on, from what I'm hearing, focusing on Duskerdil.
Hmm.
Because our job, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is to take out Duskerdil.
The real
Yeah.
one.
The real one this time.
Mhm.
We fought a simulacrum. Surely it can't be that difficult to defeat the real goddess.
What did you just call
say-
it?
I thought it was just an aspect.
Well, a simulacrum aspect, it's a word that you can use.
We're getting closer.
You are
Not
so
quite.
right.
I don't know. You're
You're
the
so
smart
real
one.
for that,
You're
Toddy.
so real for that.
So real for that.
I don't like being on the receiving end of this.
So either way we look at it, Lunaris is our last step. That's the last hurdle. That's a given.
Yeah.
At the current moment, I don't even believe Lunaris is on the battlefield. To be perfectly honest,
Yeah, she's
while I
watching
was
in her little chair, like, whoa.
while I was traveling around, she wasn't actively present.
Well, I mean, we're gonna have to deal with her one way or another, is what I mean. even
Eventually,
if
but
it's
we'll
after
work
all
our
the
way up
fighting.
there.
Yes.
Getting
I
rid
just
of
want to make sure I
Duskerdil
got my head
first.
around that.
We have to evaluate that step after we know the outcome of this one.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get the timeline kind of
Yeah.
like worked out.
So, in my brain, I'm saying 2/4 of our forces towards Borden, 1/4 and 1/4 towards Tridell and the Celestials, respectively. But some of our heaviest hitters should probably be going towards the Celestials because they are stronger on
We
average.
do need to wait more flying forces, aerial forces on the Celestial side.
Well, the small aerial team that we do have, as well as more of our advanced ranged and magic fighters.
Mhm.
The air infantry that we have currently is the flying support unit from the Grove, mainly comprised of nurses, doctors, other creatures that have more support status in medical care and in communication, as well as the commanders themselves. Many of us are powerful enough to count as our own units.
So let's not put the support units in any sort of frontline
Yeah.
battle. Let us pull
Mm-mm.
them back so that they can
Mhm.
go to wherever they are needed at any given time.
And those air support units will be able to transition battlefields much quicker than the ground support units.
Right. Which should probably be sent closer toward the majority sent towards Borden if that is truly where we are going to hit the hardest.
So it sounds like a more frontal assault on Borden, while we create a faux assault on Tridel with an infiltration team to spread propaganda, while we take some of our unassigned commanders and send them directly at the Celestials themselves.
That
Sounds
sounds
like
correct
a
to me.
brief overview. I know I'm skipping over some of the details here and there, but
And of course, keeping communication lines open. If one side is suffering, we need to have ground units that can move as quickly as possible between groups to offer support and other assistance.
we should be
Odd.
able to set up several telepathic bonds across units to keep communication lines open. It should be noted that the enemy can do this as well, and from what I can tell, has established communications in between their two encampments. While we may be attacking Borden head on, it will be a bit of a race against time to see if we can properly establish our dissidents in Tridel before they are able to appropriately respond to the attack against Borden.
And all the meanwhile, we are going straight for Duskradil.
As has always been the plan.
Mhm.
You all have a very important job to do. And we will do what we can to make sure that that succeeds. All right. I think we have a basic outline of plans. Commanders, if you all would go and inform your individual troops of the plan, that would be just absolutely fantastic. When would we like to commence this
Half a
attack?
bell. As soon as possible.
Okay.
Maybe in 4 hours.
Yeah, but
Maybe in 4.
that's fine.
In 4 to 5 hours, it shall be. All right. Everyone break. We have our missions. There is a moment of chatter before suddenly there is this wind that blows the tent doors open as you all look to see a thin, tall, very pale figure strutting in, floating a couple inches off the ground. She goes, "You all weren't gonna start without me, now were you?"
Well, we
your
were
sweet
certainly
time.
hoping not.
As Aphenzia, the Lich Fae, makes her appearance in camp.
Oh, also, did you hear all that, or do we need to update you?
Oh, remember the...
I know, I just didn't
Trying
know if you
thing?
were listening.
Oh, I'm always listening.
Concerning
Sounds
at all.
creepy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I've had some
And
private
She
conversations.
knows when you've been sleeping.
she
knows
knows when
when
you're
you're
awake.
awake.
Offensia is Saint Nicholas.
Is Santa.
And with that, I think we're going to end it there for this
Yeah.
session. As we have a plan in place, our troops have been collected. We're going to go over some of the logistics of how this works off camera. So hopefully we can jump in next session and go pretty much immediately into the battle.
Yeah.
So if there are any like last out of combat conversations or any like preparations that need to happen, I will say Aphenzia is present again. So if there are any last minute like magical knickknacks or things that you would like to pick up. You don't have any additional funds other than what you already have on you. All of the NPCs' gold and funds has been gone to preparing the troops and preparing a lot of the other combat units. So they don't really have much to contribute to you. But if you have any gold burning a hole in your pocket, and have
This
any
is-
desires,
Last time.
this is going to be the very, very last time to use any of that outside of combat. Remember, if you're using spells that require gold, to keep some on you, so like Greater Restoration, Revivify, things like that, you're going to want some gold reserves on your person. But, if you've got a couple thousand gold, it might not be a bad idea to at least buy some health potions. But with that, Julia.
Drink water. Halfway through, thankfully I wasn't doing anything, but I definitely choked on some. So drink that so that you don't do that. Mine's gone now.
Fantastic. Dane, anything from you?
Spotify, check it out. Tell your friends, check it out. Apple Podcasts, Amazon's Audible thing, I think. Maybe iHeartRadio. I'm still waiting for someone to say no balls, you won't do it, and then I'll do it.
No balls, you won't do it.
We're gonna be on iHeartRadio by next session, probably.
Yeah.
Because
So-
we heart radio.
We do.
Yeah, but with that, I hope you all had a fantastic time. I know I did. I hope my players did as well. And we will see you all next time for the grand battle that is to come. So,
I'm not
with
ready.
that,
We're not
good night,
ready.
everyone.
Mm-mm.
They will be.